it's working. Bloody cameras. Microphone. Should we try that again? Morning all. Yeah. That's today's cup. A grasshopper or an alien, depending on which way you view it. Right. What's happening on Twitters? The Chinese military have built targets in the shape of American aircraft carriers and other US warships in the Talcaman Desert as part of a new target range complex. Well, that's not worrying at all, is it? Yeah. That's either sabre rattling or they're being a bit more serious. Oh well. There are things we can control and things we can't, and that falls definitely into things I cannot control or have any influence over. So it's a little bit worrying, but there's not a lot we can do about it. What else is happening? Arkansas black apples. Yes, they've. There's a rare fruit. It's an apple, and it's black. Arkansas black apples seem straight out of a dark fairy tale. Yeah, the human race has a long history with apples, right back to Adam and Eve. Except, educated sources and all that say it wasn't an apple, it was a pomegranate. But they look a bit like apples, but I think pomegranates grow a lot more in the Middle East than the European apple. So it probably was a pomegranate. I like pomegranate. Quite like apples, but Christ, I can't remember the last time I had one. That is how unhealthy I am. Did eat a banana last night though, so that's like 0.00001 of my 5 a day. Yeah, this 5 a day thing. Well, it's supposed to be 7 a day, and I do agree with it in principle, but in theory it's sometimes a bit more difficult, especially for someone who doesn't actually like fruit, the taste of fruit and vegetables that much. Talking with the missus, talking with people last night, or talking with the missus. She can appreciate plain food, mashed potatoes, white bread, things like that. She gets enjoyment out of eating those foods just as much as spicy foods or savoury foods or sweet foods. I have to relearn that now at my age to appreciate the taste of plain foods and an awful lot of fruit and vegetables, because it's mass produced and mass grown in enormous greenhouses or on enormous farms now. It doesn't have the taste. It's like when we grew courgettes in the summer. We grew a pot of courgettes in the back garden. I really enjoyed them, but they tasted meaty. They didn't taste watery like shop bought courgettes do. I mean, that's another argument for growing your own. I eat a lot of chicken. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it's protein. But I remember as a kid, chicken had a taste, and it had a stronger taste. Chicken nowadays, because the chickens again are bred in massive factory farm halls, it's watery. When you cook it, it's watery and it doesn't have as much taste, and it tends to take the taste on of what you're cooking it in. If you're cooking it in herbs and spices, the chicken takes the taste on. Years ago, my middle lad, when he was a chef, I took him to an African restaurant, and we had crocodile and spring, and we had a variety of different meats. Crocodile's quite nice actually. Alligator crocodile. It tastes like a cross between chicken and fish. Um, we also had, I think we had like a springbok, like deer meat and bits and pieces. You know, just a taste of different meats. Yeah, but crocodile. It's like ostrich. I've eaten ostrich as well. Ostrich is a bit bland to me. It doesn't taste too much. But a few years ago, ostrich was going to be the food of the future, and you know there was ostrich farms popping up everywhere, and you know we were all going to be eating that. Well, that seemed to fizzle out. Yeah, like the future sometimes does. You know, as a kid growing up watching Tomorrow's World, don't even know it's still on anymore. You know, they promised us this future of like flying cars and jetpacks and virtual reality and things like that. And you know, from the 1980s, no, the future we actually got was a widening gap between the rich and the poor, a destabilised Middle East, and a global lockdown and pandemic. That's the future we got. Um, you know, we should, and the things that you know that were from the future then, like Concorde, now grounded, doesn't fly anymore. Um, Space travel or space race, you know, we didn't go. We stopped going to the moon. We nip up to the International Space Station and do experiments up there, and we don't seem to get any further. And I've spoken to this on previous podcasts and all that about how, you know, it's not the governments that are investing in space; it's private companies like SpaceX and Tesla. What's Elon Musk's space arm? Oh yeah, SpaceX, Bigelow Airspace. You know, all these sort of private, Jeff Bezos and all that, Blue Flame, all these billionaires are investing in the space race and not the governments. And it should be. You see, another reason why it should be the government is maybe in the misplaced now, but that sense of national pride. You know, it might do the psyche of the country some good if their government, and I'm talking about the UK as well as America and all that, and maybe that's why sort of China and India, you know, their space programs are government funded because they can go on the 6 o'clock news and say, we went to space. Not some billionaire built a thing that went to space, but we as a country, and the whole of the country sort of goes, we all feel a little bit better about that. But yeah, human psychology is a funny thing. I know I could spend a lifetime looking into it and all that, but sometimes there are parts of it that you don't want to look into deeply. But space race, we were sort of promised that. Colonies on Mars and all that, and I've said before, we need to get off this planet. Yes, we're going to pollute the rest of the galaxy. Yes, there's going to be like Coca-Cola cans on Mars and, you know, toxic lakes and all that, but we'll get through that. I firmly believe we will get through that. That's part of the birth canal. That's part of evolving as a human race, you know, to end up as something better. Because if we don't, we're going to run out of stuff, we're going to run out of minerals and resources, and we're going to all end up back living in straw huts while the rich live in castles and, you know, hoard the antibiotics. I say that a lot on these things. I've really got to get onto a different subject, haven't I? So yeah, what else is happening on Twitter for the last couple of minutes? Dee Snider's tweeting again. Dean Stockwell died. Actor Dean Stockwell has died at the age of 85. He was in Quantum Leap. I used to like Quantum Leap. I used to like watching that. He was also in the original Dune film, the David Lynch Dune film. I wonder how these actors feel that they have a whole career and then they just remember for one role. You know, it's like the goat. The goat. I've given away the punchline. It's like the old joke, isn't it? It's about the guy in the village. Builds all the walls, not remembered for that. Paves the road, not remembered for that. He's a fisherman, he brings fish in, not remembered for that. You shag one goat. That's what he's remembered for. Yeah, but yeah, Dean Stockwell. Quantum Leap guy, Al, and lots of other things he was probably better in and probably better but he won't be better remembered for. It's like being a musician, I suppose, and only being remembered for one song or one hit. But that's how it goes. And a lot of these musicians, a lot of these one hit, wonder bands and all that, their one hit is an abnormality. It's not what they normally do. It's, like James, renowned for Sit Down, but Sit Down is like so different to the rest of their musical output. Anyway, I'm overrunning this morning. I don't know if this is going to upload to YouTube and all that. So, as I say every morning, peace out.